Boozed and Confused is a comedy and weird topic podcast. Adult language may be used, probably by me. While our episode topics may be educational in nature, we are not responsible if your children start dropping the F-bomb to their kindergarten class. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hi.
Happy Monday night, or whenever you're listening to this. We are a little behind, but it's still Monday, so whatever.
Still valid.
I'm Carol Ann.
I'm Matt.
And this is another episode of Boozed and Confused. And you have a Matt topic for you today.
It's just aliens and stuff.
Yeah, of course. So that's how if you see the episode title has anything to do with like aliens or asteroids that are going to end the world, or time travel, it's Matt. So you should know by now.
Just go for things that interest me.
Before we get into today's topic, a few very quick housekeeping items. The first one is if you shockingly have not heard any of this before, we are on all your favorite social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And I realize that YouTube is uploading everything is like super inconsistently. So I'm going to try to check that out and get that fixed. But if social media is not really your thing and you still want to send us a message, you can email us at boostingconfusedpodcast@gmail.com and we'll respond to your email within 5 to 7 business days. Usually quicker, depending on who's responding.
Or your money back.
Yes, exactly. What is next? If you like the pod and you want to support us, the best way that you could do that is by leaving us a review and following or subscribing wherever you get your podcasts. I know Spotify is like kind of weird, and I think that's a like good chunk of our listeners. It's like split between Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and then there's like some random Google Podcast hipsters in there. So I applaud you, Google Podcast listeners.
You've really gone all in on the Google aspect.
Yeah. If you leave us a review and you take a screenshot of it and you send it to us, we will send you some Boozed and Confused stickers in the mail for free.
Free to you.
Free to you.
Cheap to us.
And
supporting the USPS.
Yes. Buy some stamps, everybody. And the last one is, what are you drinking? I'm going to be honest, from this angle, it looks like heavy dehydrated urine colored.
Ooh, you're so close.
Yeah.
You're so close.
Yeah.
No, this is the remnants of it's a Victory Brewing Golden Monkey.
Oh, yes, of course.
It is a Belgian ale of sorts.
Yes.
It is really interesting. It's like a 9.5%. So it's like a.
Oh, so you're going night night?
Oh
Pretty
yeah,
soon?
I'm entirely going to bed right after this.
Yeah.
No, it's a I don't know. It's got like a good little kick to it. It's got this like interesting aftertaste I really enjoy.
What is the kick?
I don't know. It's just got this odor to it. I just love it.
Odor. Great.
Yeah, and it's like mostly done.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of nursing it.
Yeah, of course. I'm not drinking anything because it's Monday and it's 9 p.m. Central, and I'm old. And I realized that I just don't drink enough water, especially on weekends. So C2E2, we got there at 10 a.m. ready to drink our beers, and they wouldn't serve us that early. So what did I do instead? Just waited for the beer.
Oh, no, it's Doodle Bob. Don't give them alcohol.
So, yeah. I guess without further ado, go ahead.
Oh, wow. We're just going to...
Great transition.
We're just going to go in like that.
Just rip the Band-Aid off.
There's no fancy
Well, you
side
didn't even
effects.
send me, like, notes or anything.
Oh, no. we're gonna stop right there. You said, just go ahead. What's your topic? Oh, I don't even care. Just go.
I didn't say I didn't care. I wanted to be surprised. So even after I said, no, don't tell me, you then proceeded to tell me the entire thing anyway. So it's fine.
Okay. Well, let's get going. You know as well as I do that one of my guilty pleasures is Ancient Aliens.
Yes, I do know. Actually, I feel like if we had recorded this at a different time and better prepared, you probably would have dressed the part for today's episode.
You know, my hair is pretty.
It's getting there.
It's pretty up now.
Yeah, it's getting there.
It's been a day or two since I've washed it, so
yeah, great.
even more so, just kind of like meh, throwing it up.
Yep.
Will make it stay, and I can really do that. The alien guy, aliens.
Yeah,
his name is Giorgio Tsoukalos.
Yep.
And I swear, someone I know knows someone who's married to him.
It's all 6 degrees of separation. We're all much more connected than we think we are.
It's all those Greeks.
It's maybe
6 degrees of Greeks. 6 degrees.
God.
6 degrees
You know
of
what? Let's just
separation.
wrap it up right here.
Good night,
Thanks
everybody.
so much.
No, after we dropped cable, and I mean, honestly, I think we still have History Channel on.
We absolutely
TV.
do.
But I also discovered that one of our million streaming services has the entire catalog of Ancient Aliens.
This episode is brought to you by Discovery Plus. Discovery Plus, the streaming channel that you didn't know you needed because it has literally every fucking show you've ever watched.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty obsessed with Discovery Plus to the point where I added it to my computer Internet Explorer. It's not. Oh no, it's not. It's not. It's
God,
not. I swear.
what?
No, it's Chrome, but I have a toolbar for all my bookmarks, and I added Discovery Plus to it. Like I'll actually watch stuff on my computer. I won't, but if I ever wanted to, I could. It's one click away.
Yeah,
Just one click away.
I mean, really. A side note: Discovery Plus is like the most underrated streaming service.
We're not even getting paid for this, y'all.
No.
This is a genuine.
Yeah. Everything we do is genuine. But anyways, go ahead.
No, it's like pre-baby life. I could stay up till like 3 a.m. watching Ancient Aliens, and would have awesome, horrible dreams about like aliens, and it's due to, of course, like hearing the stuff as I'm sleeping, I'm sure. But, why not look down the rabbit hole just a little bit and take a look at, maybe those ancient alien guys weren't making the worst points.
They're probably onto something.
I kind of want to believe.
I do believe. To an extent.
It takes a lot of the pressure off of humans if we're not the only ones to ruin stuff.
God, how depressing would that be if we were the ones that like outwon everybody else in terms of evolution? That's the best that we could do, was us. Not you and me personally, but
Oh, I'm doing great. I cooked and I ate food today.
And you only sliced your hand in 2 different places.
Oh yeah, Anyways, no, there's this really nice Ranker article that I was looking through, and I was kind of like, yeah, you know what? Let's take a look at instances where maybe saying aliens isn't the worst thing in the world.
They're probably the easiest explanation.
Again, it takes a lot of pressure off of us, and I for one, could use less pressure in my life. It seems like every day we get closer to finding that first physical piece of evidence that something is in our solar system, that something is there, microorganisms, something hiding under the ice in, like on Mars, I mean, even if like the Vatican, the Catholic Church home base, can acknowledge that life is possible on other planets, and that discovery of aliens wouldn't like negate anything that the church is about. I'm like, all right, if the Pope is cool with aliens, that's pretty big.
I almost feel like that's just like priming everybody, because my dad and I have had this discussion a lot, and we're fully convinced that even if the government, I 100% believe there's something at Area 51 that like proves extraterrestrial life. However, my dad and I think that there's no way world governments would ever allow that information to get out, because in my dad's thinking, a lot of people in the world base their morality off of their religions, and if their religion conflicts with
reality,
the story of creation for whatever they believe, and it doesn't allow for the belief of aliens, then the world would just turn into chaos. So I don't know, maybe the Pope's got some insider news.
He's got some of that insider trading
info. Quick, dump all your stocks.
Buy GameStop stock.
Oh god. Yeah.
So yeah, I just want to jump into some examples where aliens isn't the most ridiculous explanation for some of the crazy things that we see in life. For example, we've got these insane ancient artifacts that are found all around the globe that, I mean, to our modern perspective of technology, resemble like spaceships, or at the very least like alien technology. So just for example, like Colombia, in the country Colombia, archaeologists uncovering artifacts that resemble like airplanes with like wings and a tail fin, a fuselage. And then over in Istanbul, the Istanbul Museum has this crazy sculpture what looks like a headless astronaut sitting in a rocket ship. Again, I mean, like, it looks like a rocket ship. You need to look this up. If you look up headless astronaut sculpture, you'll see what I'm talking about. It looks like some kid's like action figure in a toy rocket ship. And if you imagine there being a head on it, it does resemble, like, to a T, like astronauts wearing a helmet in their space suits in a little cockpit flying around space.
Maybe this was the early predictions of Jeff Bezos going to space.
Oh my gosh, I think we're onto something here, where maybe Beth himself left this.
Maybe Beth is the alien. That's actually the only thing that would make sense to me, is Beth is an alien who was stranded here, and what is it, Blue Origin? Is Blue Origin him?
I haven't the slightest idea.
I can't remember if that's him or
Blue
not.
Origin?
Whatever.
Like a space travel thing?
Not space travel. No, it's like flight, like space flight.
Yes, travel, flight.
Whatever. Yeah, I think that's him. But maybe he just got a little stranded, and that is like his project to get himself back home.
Maybe years of being stuck in space, the hairless Jeff Bezos, his body shrinks due to muscular dystrophy.
Oh no.
And he becomes the little like alien man that crashes.
Oh no.
Oh no, Beth.
Sorry, Beth.
Speaking of flying machines, the amount of world religions that have stories of these flying machines that come down from the heavens is ridiculous.
So if you think about, like, okay, so you and I were just watching that video of like what a tornado allegedly sounds like, and it's like a train almost. If you were back in the day and you didn't know anything about weather patterns or weather events, and like you just saw that it was pissing sideways and it sounds like the most ungodly noise you've ever heard. Like, what would you think? You would probably think it was something, I don't know, like extraterrestrial, paranormal,
Godly.
Ungodly.
Godly, yeah, like
Godly, ungodly.
like a deity.
Whatever, yeah. So I don't know. I like when I hear about these, like, I don't know, similarities between cultures where they have some sort of artifact that resembles like spaceflight, I have to think about like what they might have seen that would have, like, a common thing that they would have seen that would have influenced that. And it's either aliens or something else.
Well, yeah, but like what universal thing is being seen?
You remember when we were in like grammar school, and the really cool thing to do was like draw that S that was like a money sign?
Yeah.
But like the internet really didn't exist back then, but somehow like every kid in every school across our country at least did it. I feel like it's a very similar thing.
And get this. I was at my location of employment testing incoming students, and lo and behold, one of them drew a triumphant, glorious S.
It has happened before, and it will happen again. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it would be if it wasn't aliens.
Like, what besides birds were flying in the ancient days?
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's
no,
what
that's
I'm
what
saying.
I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm
that's what
saying.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So almost every major religion in the world has some kind of flying object. And what's really cool is we get some actual pictures drawn and some sculptures made. So whether it's a different religion, but the story is still the same. The names are always a little different. A deity comes from the sky and talks with the people of the culture, and then poof, they disappear with this promise to return in the distant future. And so one example is the Sanskrit writings, which date back to over 5,000 years ago, which describes, pronunciation probably going to be horrible here, Vimanas, or a mythical flying machine that are hundreds of feet wide and look, I mean, like, I have images on my screen right now, and they almost look like flying buildings.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would say that's accurate.
Like a flying temple almost. It's a very massive. It's a massive thing, but yeah, it's a flying thing, and it comes down and then it flies away.
Beth Bezos.
Well, it's a giant, like a palace almost.
Yeah.
Beth Bezos.
It's Beth Bezos. All signs point to Beth Bezos.
Yeah. So, maybe it's not angels or gods. Maybe it's just other folk from other parts of the universe coming by.
That could be it too. Or would that just also be aliens? Theoretically, it would probably fit into the alien category.
Saying, hey, rub these things together, make fire.
Yep. Good luck.
Here's a wheel.
Yeah.
Go
figure it out.
Civilization.
Ugh.
Hey, Greeks, go create Western civilization.
Good luck. You get one chance. Do you remember, what was it, the most recent season of American Horror Story with the aliens? I know your shoulders just dropped because you hated it so much. I actually kind of enjoyed it. But I guess maybe this is spoilers if you haven't seen the new season and you plan on watching it.
You're not missing much.
I enjoyed it. It was fun to watch. But the first half of the season is all about how the reason we have technology that we have today is because back in the, what was that, 40s?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention
I'm
too
going to
much.
say 40s, 50s. The administration at the time like made a deal, like a pact with aliens that they could take humans for experimentation, and in turn the aliens would give us alien technology. So that's why we have microwaves, and that's why we have TVs. I think that was included
Wi-Fi.
in there, and literally everything came from alien technology.
Refrigeration.
So, yeah, basically it starts with the wheel, and it just fast forwards, and now you got a microwave and you can cook a frozen dinner in 45 seconds.
That thing that you put on the end of your bread bag to keep the bread fresh.
Yes. Yeah. All right, sorry, go ahead. That's my last tangent.
No, speaking of flying things, I think the need of having to have flying things to create other things, if that makes sense. Have you heard of the Nazca Lines?
No, can't say that I have.
They're these astonishingly large, I don't know what to call them. We're in Peru, in the Nazca Desert, and there are these plateaus which are covered in geometric patterns and drawings. These things are so large that you wouldn't be able to see what you were drawing. It's kind of like an ant looking at a sidewalk. You don't see the lines on the sidewalk, but we do because we have that height over the ground. I figured there are some explanations that could maybe go beyond there's something with like an aerial view. I've tried to do things like line soccer fields without measuring tools, where I use my steps.
I've helped with that before. It looked really good.
We did our best.
It was not great.
What's actually really cool is, you know how on our car we have that app that can say where it is exactly,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a satellite view.
Yes.
And when I would park at my old job, it would show the car parked, and then it would show the soccer field that I used to line, and it looked so good from above.
Oh, good.
It looked so good.
Good.
Much like these Nazca Lines. They've got shapes like fish, monkeys, spiders, humanoids. Also, these massively long straight lines, which actually people are saying oh, well, those might have been ancient runways for ships to land on and take off from, like an old O'Hare.
Oh, you know what this kind of reminds me of? You remember the game in Mario Party when you've got the little drawing that you have to do the cutout of with the jackhammer?
Is that the one where it's not the one where you take the drawing of Mario, or Mario's nose gets big and then you make your nose big?
Oh, the warped one. No. This is the one where you have to cut out the shape with the jackhammer, and it's really hard. That's what this reminds me of, but on hard mode.
Okay. These Nazca Lines, not the shapes but the lines. But if you do Google search Nazca Lines, you will see both drawings of, again, birds, fish, etc., but also these lines that span for miles. It's a weird hobby if this is for no reason. Digging like this, and considering that these lines were created 500 BC. It's and they're still so visible. I don't know. It's like an ancient airport of sorts. Really cool views. It's up there with the Denver airport for me.
I kind of feel like the Denver airport has maybe a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Devil in it? Evil?
Wasn't it like New World Order-ish?
Yeah, some shit
more
like
than devil, evil.
Yeah.
But I guess the NWO is kind of
Yeah, satanic
that evil
is the
vibe.
word I was looking for. Yes.
It's got that evil vibe for sure. Yeah, so I'm going to keep it in the family. I'm going to keep things flying in the sky. The Bible itself has a number of references of visitations, and not like the, hey, Mary, you're going to have a baby one day. It's like old school, Old Testament. The book of Ezekiel has these creatures with 4 wings and numerous faces. The face of a man, the face of a lion, the face of an ox, the face of an eagle, and that comes to earth. And there's a device that looked like a wheel that was intersecting with other wheels and like flying through the sky. The Old Testament also has other accounts of visits by God or his angels. And so, I don't know, the theory goes that these are accounts of visits from, why not, extraterrestrials.
But what is like the wheel that's intersecting with another wheel?
Well, if you really want to get into that, like Hallmark views like angels as like little cutie patooties with like loincloths and wings and little, like baby
Cupid
faces. The like seraphim and like the high-ranking angels, the way the Bible describes angels is nothing that we would consider to be like, oh, I feel like safe and like, oh, that's my guardian angel. No, these things are like giant eyeballs surrounded by fire and wheels and almost like it can't be fully comprehended by the human perception.
So I guess spoiler for the show Midnight Mass, if anyone is going to watch it and hasn't, maybe just fast forward like 30 seconds. So that makes a lot more sense for Midnight Mass about why everybody was just like, yep, that's an angel. It's like very clearly not an angel at all.
Is this an angel? No, these images are, if you're not like, yeah, they're like beyond human perception and like understanding. So primitive civilizations thought like World War II planes that were dropping cargo were these like holy figures, and so they built these wooden statues of these what they saw as planes as like gods.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Like those like less civilized cultures on the planet.
Yes.
Thought that World War II planes flying overhead were these like gods.
Really?
Yes.
That's the first time I've ever heard of that.
Oh yeah, and again, like they've received cargo from these planes, and maybe not the same exact ones, but the same type of like untouched civilization receiving things. I remember reading somewhere it's saying that they would create a statue to pray to it to hope to get more.
Interesting.
Yeah. But don't go to one of those islands.
Yeah, no.
On
it
foot.
Never works out.
You're gonna get
even
God.
on boat.
You're gonna get God.
Yeah, it never works out. Just leave them alone.
Okay, now I'm gonna go entirely opposite of flying stuff and just go to like really far back to human civilization. So far back, we don't even have the wheel yet. Wheelie. I am getting a divorce.
Goodbye,
This marriage
everybody.
is over. No.
Can we still be like Bill and Melinda Gates? Keep the foundation together.
There's no foundation. There's no foundation. I'm keeping the Christmas decorations.
You don't even like the Christmas decorations.
I like putting them up.
Oh, God. Okay, go ahead.
No, Stonehenge.
Oh, yes.
Stonehenge.
Of course. Yes.
So it's hard to think of Stonehenge being on the island of England. I mean, it's Wales. It's Wales, but like it's the same island.
I have to be honest, this is really embarrassing to admit, but I think it wasn't until maybe like a few years ago, like recently, that I realized Stonehenge was in the UK.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't think of things being ancient in England. Like, yeah, old, okay, but ancient?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Ancient stuff is further east and south. You
Yeah.
don't find ancient stuff in the Western world.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's actually super inaccurate. There is super old stuff and culture in the Western world. You just think of prehistory happening elsewhere.
Yeah,
And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that.
I think it's because in our own country, if you think about like after colonization, our shit didn't really start until like the 1700s, 1600s. So.
Yeah. Old stuff over here is very new, relatively.
And then you go to a bar in Ireland, and it's like, oh, this was built in
11.
the 900s.
This was built in 10.
Yeah.
No, you could actually drive from London, England, to Stonehenge, and it would take you about 2 hours.
So completely unrelated, kind of related, because I'm just looking at a map of England.
Hey, me too.
And where Stonehenge is, and then just seeing, identifying all the cities of soccer teams that I know of because of the Premier League. And it blows my mind that people don't travel more often within the UK. I remember I was watching Love Island and Love Island UK, and a lot of people talked about like, oh, you're from this place, I'm from this place, my family's from this place. I don't visit them often because they're so far away, and their family's literally like an hour and a half drive. Like, it sounds like your family's just shitty, because an hour and a half drive for us is like nothing.
It's like an average Sunday afternoon.
But that's like very common in the UK apparently. Or if you're from the UK, you can tell us to fuck off if we're wrong. I would love to know if this is accurate, because I don't want to get my UK representation from Love Island UK.
No, that's a horrible thing to do. That's a horrible thing to do.
It's like watching Southern Charm and then thinking like that's all of the south of the US, which
What's
actually
Southern
could
Charm?
be. It's like a really trashy
You like your trash.
like show. I couldn't really get into it, to be honest, but that's fine.
It's okay. So I was just saying that it's Wales. Clearly, this is actually England, but it is very
Sorry
close
to all
Wales.
the Welsh.
It is close.
Sorry
it is
to all the
close
Welsh.
Coolest national anthem on the planet. Wales, no doubt. No, Stonehenge looks massive in photography. It's not as gargantuan as you might think of it in real life.
You also can't get very close to it, can you?
No, you can't.
It's like a path that you have to.
Yeah, you can walk near it, but you can't walk up to it. I actually was thinking of Stonehenge because I've been watching the What If series on Disney Plus.
Yes.
And in one of the What If stories, Thor is like a party animal, and he like breaks Stonehenge.
Whoopsies.
Because of his partying. So Stonehenge is composed of like about 100 stones, and a lot of them form these arches. You know, it's 2 vertical pillars and then one going across the top. And this was built to last for thousands of years. But the origins of Stonehenge aren't really known to this point. There's little to no documented evidence of Stonehenge's creation, but what most people could agree on is that its creation began around like 3000 BC, and this goes back to like pre-tool usage of humans, pre-wheel, and the stone pieces, which could weigh between like 2 to 5 tons each, and understanding how far they had to transport these giant slabs to their location where they are now is a huge undertaking. You know, it would take, trucks and trucks and trucks to move this, but they did it almost by hand.
Yeah, there's as I was just going through the pictures on Google Photos, it looks like they have an example of one of the potential ways that they would have moved these massive rocks, and it's just like logs.
Push it on the logs.
Yep.
It
Take
rolls
the last
away,
one. Yeah.
push it in front. That would take forever.
Yeah. Insane.
I guess I'm not thinking about how fast it took to build Stonehenge. It could have been a very long time. But to think about getting those massive stone arches on top of the vertical pieces is also...
Yeah, I have no idea how you would do that part.
How would you do that?
No idea.
With no technology whatsoever.
No. Although I do remember, I was watching, I don't remember, probably something along the lines of Ancient Aliens, or maybe it was like an Ancient Aliens, what's the word I'm looking for? When it like demyths, when it...
like myth busting.
Yeah, there you go. And it was basically like, people always ask how you could do this or that without the technology, and the answer is always slaves. It's just slaves.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah.
So
the pyramids. The pyramids, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that does explain that at least. But you know what's really crazy is it's always cool when ancient civilizations have these weird crossovers, or at least what we view as crossovers. You know, Stonehenge is in England. In western Bolivia, there is a location called Tiwanaku. It is like a pre-Columbian ancient site, and there's this thing called the Gate of the Sun, which it's like a nicer looking Stonehenge, and it's just like one gate, but it's a similar build, similar style. It's always cool. And there's a little bit of crossover. You got to wonder why. How there's crossover. Is it like thinking modern day, like we think of like an idea for a TV show and you never heard about the show ever, but somehow like it becomes one because like someone else did it and thought of it?
Yeah.
It's like that, only with rocks.
Yeah, I think in that same realm of what I was talking about before, there was something similar for like, well, if travel was non-existent between all these places, then how is it that there are pyramids of the exact same this and that across all these civilizations? And the answer for that was, well, it's literal just like structural engineering. They just determined that was the best.
It's just solid building. This shape right here, this pyramid, whoosh.
That was how they determined, or that was what they had determined to be the best structure. So
it's a great shape, very sound, would build, and point at stars that are important.
And then bury people in.
That's right. You know, this all kind of reminds me of, remember that grave we went to in Ireland? That
we
tomb?
went to a lot.
No, but you know that one tomb. That like when the sun shines at a certain time of the year, it shines into it and lights it up. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool.
That's called Newgrange.
Yes, yeah, Newgrange. Yeah. Very cool.
Very lovely. If anyone is visiting Ireland at any point, I think it's technically part of what they called like the Ancient East. Newgrange. It's very close to Dublin. Highly recommend checking it out. It was really cool.
Yeah,
I loved it.
There was a Pokemon Go gym there that I held for like 3 or 4 weeks after we got back from Ireland.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm sure a lot of kids don't have internet on their phones because data can get very expensive when you're traveling internationally.
Oh well, it was just had to drop off my Houndoom and let him chill there for a few weeks. Of course, it was great. It was great. So yeah, I mean, there's so much more out there that could be explained by extraterrestrials. Is it accurate? I don't know. I think it'd be cool if it were, but I think it would also take away from a lot of the things that humans can achieve. So
what if we could only achieve it though because of alien intervention? What if the reason that we've made it this far is because of aliens?
It's because of magic mushrooms that
we ate when we were some
naked in a
weird-
forest,
Yeah.
evolving
Yeah.
out of tadpoles. Yeah.
No. Yeah, sure.
I mean, there's some steps between there I think I missed, but
you missed like the whole
thing. It's
the whole
like
stairwell.
the draw the owl meme. Step 1, draw the head in circle. Step 4, draw the rest of the fucking owl.
Exactly. Yeah, so there's a lot more. I want to get into like pyramids and stuff, but it's bedtime for us, I think.
It is bedtime. I'm a tired girl. But we will have the Ranker article in the show notes, as always, if you want to read more about what we talked about today, or if you want to read the rest of the list, because I think we really just scratched the surface, and there's like some pretty cool shit in this article. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
all right, well, I don't know. I guess that's it. I guess we'll see you next week.
I'm going to go watch some Ancient Aliens.
All right, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Love you, Giorgio. Goodbye.
Bye.